Hey everyone, this is Rob Strano, Director of Instruction from the Strano Golf Academy here in Destin, Florida, with the first of what I hope to be many video blogs on putting. My goal is to take some of the putting strokes from the tournament telecast each week where the camera angles are just perfectly square on the player, put some graphics on those putting strokes, and talk to you about what it takes to be a great putter on either the men's tour, the LPGA tour, or the Champions Tour. So we'll look at those videos which are really good, and we'll get some examples of some good strokes and some bad strokes. Now, my players know this fact about me, and that is that I grew up with a putting green in my backyard. And the 15 years I played professional golf, I was always known as a strong putter. So I've got some pretty good ideas that my players implement about putting that helps them to putt really well and to improve from maybe an average putter to a great putter. And that's one of the things we're going to look at as I introduce to you not only these graphics and these videos, but also my new putting training aid, which is called Fusion Dynaline, which will be released in the coming months. What that putting stroke does is it perfectly aligns what I call the stroke upon the vertical hinge point. You look at all great players through history, you see them vertically aligned on the hinge point going back and coming through. So this putting training aid dynamically aligns you on that stroke every time. That's why it's called Dynaline. It's a dynamic moving training aid that perfectly lines you up on the hinge point every time. So this week in our first video blog from the last week's tournaments, we've got an interesting comparison between the two tours. The first two videos you're going to see are from the PGA Tour this week down in Bay Hill. We're going to look at Ricky Fowler's putting stroke and John Merrick's. Now, Ricky is currently holding down the 167th place on strokes gained putting on the PGA Tour. He is one spot ahead or behind, depending how you look at it, of John Merrick, who holds down the 166th place. Neither of these strokes are vertically aligned on the hinge point, which you'll see on the videos and the graphics that follow the video. Then we flip over to the LPGA Tour, and we're going to look at two great putting strokes. The first one will be Stacy Lewis, who was number 2 on that tour last year in putts made on greens in regulation and 16th overall in putting. And then the second player we'll look at is Pornapong Fatlam, who is number 9, or who was number 9 last year on putts made on greens in regulation. And they are perfectly aligned on the hinge point. So you'll see their graphics, the video, followed by the graphics, and you'll get a sense of what it takes to be a great putter out there. So let's look at these videos from this last week. I'm going to keep my talking to a minimum every week, but I want you to see the videos and look at the graphics and start to understand how you have to line this stuff up. And then I'll slowly start to introduce you to my training aid as it gets closer to release. And you'll find what my people that have secretly tested it already know. This thing dynamically aligns you on the vertical hinge point every single time. And it's kind of fun to make 20 out of 20 from 15 feet when you're perfectly lined up on every putt you hit. So enjoy the videos, not only today, but in the weeks to come. And I hope to kind of keep up with the tours. We'll see how my busy instruction schedule influences my ability to produce videos. So enjoy today's videos from last week's tournaments.